Alive and alert on the north side of the dirt. It is your man D Real coming at you with another Be Real with D Real, where edutainment is what I do. House of the Dragon, episode 10, season finale. I told y'all last week, don't get attached to nobody, because more than likely they could end up dying. I don't think we had a lot of time to attached to our newly departed, but we gonna see. Let's talk about it, unpack a few things, but before we do, I need y'all to do what you always do for me. Comment, like, subscribe, and share the Be Real with D Real page so that when new videos come out, like this one right here, you get first crack at it. If you're digging what a brother's shoveling, put some dirt in my bucket, comment, like, subscribe, and share the Be Real with D Real page. All right. Episode 10, season finale. Had some final things happen in that episode. When we open up this episode, we are finding out about Rhaenyra and Daemon finding out that their father / uncle father / brother is dead. And Daemon automatically assumes, since Rhaenys is already, free and walking around, that she had something to do with it. He did not assume that Viserys passed peacefully in his sleep. He knows they were snakes. He knows they were foul. Matter of fact, at one point, Daemon and Corlys were plotting to do some things because both of them were hungry for the crown. But also, Corlys returned too. More on that in a second. Eric, in an interesting move, when he's at Dragonstone, he brings Rhaenyra the news and the crown. And Rhaenyra is crowned queen. There are some people, I'm going to assume, now since we divvying everybody off into colors now, we got the greens, we got the reds, we got the blues, and now you have a black queen. Hence the name of the episode. There you go. And so everybody figures as soon as Rhaenyra is crowned queen, we're going to start strategizing on how we're going to strike back at the Greens. And that is precisely what they proceed to do. Men in the world of George R.R. Martin do not give a damn what women think. That is painfully obvious because they only good for making babies and having sex, it seems like. But now that y'all got a queen, everybody seems to respect that oath. Everybody, that is, except Daemon. Daemon's ready to fight. But Rhaenyra, Queen Rhaenyra, is the only person on the black and red side that's exercised, or red and blue side, which are those guys, that's exercising any kind of restraint. She's exercising restraint. Oh, but there are going to be actions that we are certain will cause her to lose it. So if you are the newly crowned Queen of the Seven Kingdoms, and you know that the enemies are at the gate, what's the first thing you want to do? Build up your allies. And one of those allies we find out about is none other than Lord Corlys. Yay! I, for one, personally, was very happy to see the return of Lord Corlys and recovery, because it seemed like all the black male representation was either being murdered or shoved off into foreign land. So hooray that we got to see Corlys. And Corlys was told to remember his vow to King Viserys I and the passing of the crown to Rhaenyra versus her younger brother Aegon. And we find out during all of that time that Lord Corlys was gone and got his throat cut and was suffering from a sickness. He was securing the triarchy. Rhaenyra and the Rhaenyra and Corlys alliance are in a position now to cut off shipping lanes from Westeros, which, while not a great strategic move, is a good thing to have at your disposal, being able to control how much or how little of something that an enemy gets. That's excellent. That's the long game, though. But they need forces to make a show of power. And when punk ass Otto Hightower shows up at Dragonstone with his offer, Rhaenyra rolls up on Dragonback like, what? What do y'all want? And I ain't gonna lie, he makes a really great offer to Rhaenyra. But I go back to season 1 of Game of Thrones. What did they do to Eddard Stark? What did they do to him? What did they do to Ned? What did they do to him? He was the victim of fuckery. And Ned Stark was one of the nicest guys on Game of Thrones. And you see how nice guys get treated in Westeros, in the world of ice and fire. You see how nice guys get treated, how nice girls get treated. Sansa was a nice girl. Arya was a nice girl. You see how they get treated. Robb Stark was a nice person. You see how he got treated. So you can't be nice in this world of madness and savagery. So here we are. We are in need of an ally. And so we want to get to the Starks at Winterfell. We want to get to the Baratheons at Storm's End. And then I forget who the third one was. Rhaenyra sends her 3 sons off as messengers and made them take a vow not to fight. Now, in my mind, when she said, y'all take this vow and y'all promise not to fight, I knew there was going to be a fight situation. You wouldn't put a vow not to fight in something and they're not going to be a situation where they have to fight. Okay. Can I get to that in a second? Now, let's back up a little bit. Rhaenys arrives at Dragonstone to inform Daemon and Rhaenyra of the usurpation of the Iron Throne by Hightower, Aemon, all of them. Alicent, I would say less so than Hightower and all the rest of them lords. They were the ones doing most of the scheming. Now, she shows up and she lets them know your daddy dead. That's first. Second, the throne's been usurped. But finds out, okay, there are some people who are still loyal to Rhaenyra and they want her to be the queen. And like I said earlier, thus, she is crowned the Black Queen. Now, they at Dragonstone and they having conversations about what they want to do, about what they're going to do. I cannot believe Viserys' father shared the poem of Ice and Fire with Daemon. I wonder why. there's a point in the show where he grabs his wife and is choking her. I mean, choking her. And I was like, just when we thought Damon was cool, he comes back with an asshole move and reminds us I'm the head asshole on this show. Because she's telling him to have faith in the poem. And he's like, I don't want to hear nothing about dreams. You know, we won this king. We didn't win this kingdom with dreams. We won this kingdom with dragons. Don't you forget it. I'm paraphrasing, of course. But essentially, he did a pimp move, is what he did. He grabbed old girl, choked her, and was like, I'm going to give you my version of what I saw when Damon did what he did. This is Damon. Bitch, don't you know we ain't got time for no motherfucking prophecies? We need to be getting soldiers and we need to be getting dragons. I done been in wars, bitch. Understand? That's how you win things. You do to your wife, niece, and mother of your children. Oh, there was a baby that died. That was Damon baby that died. So I'm starting to notice a pattern here. Damon can't make no babies. Or can he? That's a mystery for another day. We ain't gonna trip on that. But for right now, Rhaenyra, what is it? Do they like showing difficult pregnancy scenes on this show? Because by my count, that's what? The fourth, fifth difficult pregnancy scene that we're seeing, or just Mug just struggling. What? Why what's the fascination, y'all? What's the fascination, House of the Dragon people, with pregnancy scenes? Why are y'all just obsessed with blood and dead babies and all that kind of stuff? So I'm kind of wondering about y'all and y'all fascination with stillborn children and all of that kind. I get it. Maybe back in those times on that world, mortality rates were much higher, and that's just part of it. I don't know, but man, Rhaenyra certainly is not trying to have babies. You know, baby girl stayed pregnant, didn't she? She got like what, 5 kids? And 3 of those 5 kids are bastards. So anyway, allies. We have to gather allies, like I was saying earlier. So we heading to Barrows Baratheon at Storm's End. And we're heading to I forget the Stark that's running things at the time. And so we heading to Stark at Winterfell. And then I think there's one more place. I think they went to the Vale, is where I think was the 3rd place. But I know somebody gonna come in the comments and tell me if I don't have that right. Anywho, though, we ain't focusing on the Vale. We ain't focusing on Winterfell. We focusing on Storm's End. And y'all know what Storm's End was like from back in the day at with Game of Thrones and Littlefoot and all of his dealing at Storm's End. So y'all already know. And it's a Baratheon there. Baratheons are prideful. That we already admitted that. The first Baratheon we ever met got an injury by a boar and was like, whatever. You know, I'm like, dude, that's a lethal injury you got there. But he ain't tripping. So we get an ascension to the throne with the Lannisters. Anywho, when young Viserys arrives at Storm's End on his dragon, Arax, as he walks into Storm's End, and of course there's a storm going, and the lightning flashes, and we catch a flash of the dragon Vagar. Vagar is Amon's dragon. Question: if you saw Vagar at Storm's End and you riding on little bitty old Arax, you gonna go in anyway? Maybe that's the hood awareness in me, but I was like, okay, I see a bad situation. I shall return on the morrow. This storm is too great, and my dragon has told me that we must leave. How them fools know? They don't know if dragons can or can't communicate mentally. They don't. Okay, I'm speculating. Anywho, he goes in, and sure enough, look who's there. Your man, Aemon Targaryen, the very fellow whose eye you took. And now he's rocking bling bling up in my eye socket, baby, bling bling. Every time I look, I can see bling bling. So there he is with his bling and his little puckered up baloney-sized lips, just just looking like somebody that need their other eye stabbed out. But anyways, Aemon has beat Viserys to Storm's End and already gotten the aid and support of Lord Baratheon. So, he done arrived too late. And now, pardon me if I'm wrong, but didn't Aemon say as a child, I lost my eye, but I got a dragon in return for it? Sounds like somebody who's over it. Him not over it. Because as soon as he saw him, he was, flexing and smirking and smiling, and he throws a knife to him. He's like, I want your eye. Give me an eye. And my man, he done already made a promise not to fight. And I mean, let's be honest. Even if he did fight, he probably would have got his ass kicked. I mean, that's all been happening when them two square off, as he ends up getting pushed, knocked down. He is clearly at this point no match for Aemon. At least, well, it don't matter. He is clearly no match for Aemon. And so Baratheon don't want no blood spilled on his territory, so he tells young Viserys, take off. Young Viserys takes off. And we all know with the urgency that he's taking off with, it's just gonna be a matter of seconds before these two meet up in the air and Arax and Viserys start having major problems with that big ass Godzilla-sized dragon that Aemon's got. So, sure enough, we in the sky, and Aemon starts, messing with him, hounding him, getting his dragon to razz Viserys' dragon. Now, Arax, little as he is, he still ain't no punk. He like, man, let me show you what's up. And Arax breathes fire on Vagar. I believe that someone neglected to tell Arax that his flame would only be a mere irritant to Vagar. And then at that point, Viserys seemed to lose control of Arax, and he's screaming, trying to tell him, act right, act right. At the same time, and they made it, look accidental. Aemon just losing control of Vagar, and Vagar is copping an attitude like, nigga, I let you ride me, but I'm still a dragon, the biggest dragon walking around. And sure enough, the biggest dragon does what? Poor Viserys and Arax get chomped the hell up. I mean, pieces, chunks, wings, legs falling out of the sky. Now, if Viserys somehow survived that, that would be impressive because he don't know how to control a dragon, but he got the foresight to jump off into the water. I don't know. So at the end of this episode, we see Daemon bringing Rhaenyra the news that her son Viserys, and I guess she knows how her son was murdered, and there ain't no way to kill somebody on Dragonback unless you own a dragon yourself. And we're gonna go ahead and assume that's the Greens. Good assumption right there. And she turns around and she has this look on her face of it's about to go down. That's it. All 10 episodes. House of the Dragon. We don't get a full Dance of the Dragons until things I liked, Corlys being back. Things I liked, Rhaenyra being crowned. Things I liked, dragons. Dragons. We got to see dragons. Daemon had folks pledging fealty to the black and had his dragon there. And his dragon was like kind of doing a flex. You know what I mean? But we saw dragons, and that's what I was talking about. This episode delivered on all levels. I got drama, I got death, I got dragons, I got crazy medieval people. What more could you ask for? I'm kind of happy that Corlys is back because Rhaenyra seems kind of wild. I mean, not Rhaenyra, Rhaenys, excuse me. Rhaenys. Their names are too similar. Anyway, Rhaenys seems like she's an X factor. Like, okay, she's gonna do what Lord Corlys say, but at the same time, she never bowed to Rhaenyra as queen. Was she just accepting? Okay, that was my vow that we made back in the day, and I'm still honoring my vow. But didn't nobody tell her to renew that vow? And she kind of cleverly asked, where does Driftsmark stand? In all of this. And made Corlys speak up and say what he needed to say. And Rhaenys was just kind of in the back, like giving that white lady look that white ladies give when they don't want to give, kind of look. And so they just give you that look. I'll talk about this with some homies of mine. This look right here. And the actress, Eva Best, who plays the role of Rhaenys, she's very, very thin in the lip region. So when you go, it look like ain't nothing there. And then she's already getting them wrinkles. You know what? That's neither here nor there. Bottom line, I am thinking Rhaenys garners watching. And that's just me. Maybe I could be wrong as two left shoes, but I think the lady, the grandmother, she garners some watching because I think she might be up to some stuff. And then, what about my man Laenor, who he's just off in faraway lands? Are we going to see him again? A whole lot of stuff can happen in season 2. And we know for sure one thing that's happening. Dance of the Dragons. They have not announced when season 2 of House of the Dragon is coming out. I will be watching. And when I find out, y'all will find out. And until then, I'll be coming at you with another one of them other ones. And until I do, y'all be good. Be good to each other.